کنگره آمریکا، استماع هیلاري کلینتون در کمیته خارجی کنگره 27 اکتبر 2011 5 آبان 1390. هیلاري کلینتون وزیر خارجه آمریکا: من شخصا بسیار متمرکز هستم که مطمئن شویم ما از سلامت ساکنان کمپ حفاظت کنیم. من، وزارتخانه من و این دولت به شدت خشونتی را که منجر به مرگ در اشرف شد محکوم کردیم. 36 نفر به واسطه خشونت در 8 آوریل کشته شدند. ما داریم سعی می‌کنیم تا جایی که می‌توانیم یک نوع پوشش حفاظتی برای ساکنان را 4 میخه ارائه کنیم. ما به کمیسیاریاي عالی پناهندگان اعمال فشار کرده ایم که حضور بیشتری داشته باشد. در مورد نامگذاری هم در حال اقدام هستیم تا در سریعترین زمانبندی ممکن آن را تعیین تکلیف کنیم.
Madam Secretary, I'm gravely concerned about the safety of the residents of Camp Ashraf in Iraq. Many members, including the ranking member and I, have sought the administration's commitment to securing their protection given the Iraqi government's repeated failure to comply with its international human rights obligations to the Camp Ashraf residents. And in light of President Obama's announcements of the final withdrawal of American troops from Iraq, we need to be confident that our administration is engaged with the government of Iraq, the UN High Commissioner of Refugees, and others to ensure the welfare of Camp Ashraf residents and to resolve their long-term security goals. With respect to Camp Ashraf, which we deeply are concerned about, we know that there is an ongoing and very legitimate expression of concern. We have elicited written assurances from the government of Iraq that it will treat Ashraf residents humanely, that it will not transfer residents to a country they may have reason to fear, and we are pushing very hard to get the United Nations High Commission on Refugees to work with the residents of Camp Ashraf and the government to get them into a safe place. Well, we appreciate that. Thank you so much, Madam Secretary.
Many of us saw this ad about Camp Ashraf featuring a 14-year-old girl who fears extermination. We face a tough circumstance in that we are withdrawing from Iraq. In the past, there have been some would say massacres, at least terrible instances in which tens of people have been killed. And there are press reports that the Iraqi officials say, well, don't worry about it too much. After all, these folks are on the U.S. terrorist list. What are we doing to assure that when we leave Iraq, we will not see the massacre of 3,400 people at Camp Ashraf? And how's it going on the court-ordered review of whether the MEK should be on the terrorist list?
On those points in particular, Congressman, in accordance with the D.C. Circuit's 2010 ruling, the State Department is reviewing the designation. There will be a decision. It has to be done expeditiously but thoroughly, and we hope to have such a decision in the future. I would add that the current designation does not pose a bar to the resettlement of Ashraf residents in Europe. We're working primarily through the United Nations, and certainly with both the residents of Ashraf and the government of Iraq to try to put in place a very rapid assessment of individuals, and we have urged the EU and other countries to favorably consider the resettling of any Ashraf resident granted refugee status. Thank you, Madam Secretary. Thank you, Mr. Sherman. Mr. Rohrabacher is recognized.